Welcome to Estero Today, produced by Engage Estero. I'm your host, Mike Wasson. Well, I have some good news to report today. The Greater Estero area is cleaner, healthier, and more beautiful. In March of 2026, volunteers collected 420 pounds of litter from along Highway 41. And they didn't stop there. In April of 2026, volunteers collected another 400 pounds of litter from along Highway 41. In fact, in the last 12 months, volunteers collected 1.6 tons of litter from along Highway 41. Think about that. It's 3,180 pounds of litter. No big cranes, no massive heavy equipment, no big government initiative, just volunteers who showed up and bag by bag picked up litter from the side of Highway 41. Why and how did this happen? Well, to help answer that question, I'm joined today by Julie Yellig. Julie has led the effort on Highway 41 volunteer project for many years. And I'll let Julie explain the details of why this happened in a moment. But also joining us today is Tisha Bayne. Tisha is from Keep Lee County Beautiful organization. That's Keep Lee County Beautiful organization. So, welcome both of you to Estero Today. I'm glad you could join me.
Thank you for having us.
So, I'm going to start by telling you that a little bit about Lee County Beautiful. It was founded in 1989, and it's Keep Lee County Beautiful. It's an organization that has a very important mission. Let me read their mission statement. It's to inspire, educate, and engage Lee County communities in improving, beautifying, and protecting our environment. That's a very worthy cause, very worthy. But to begin, Julie, let me start with you by asking you my first question today. I think you first started thinking about this 5-6 years ago. Could you share your thoughts with our audience about what motivated you to get involved in the work that you do with Keeping Lee County Beautiful?
Yes, thank you for that question, Mike. The short answer is that one day I looked around and I became aware of two things. We could do better with litter and that we needed many more hands. So I started reaching out to learn more about the local Adopt a Highway programs. And I also discovered Keep Lee County Beautiful. Not only are they an organization that organizes year-round events, but they also support individuals and groups throughout the county. So from there, I started looking at how I could cobble more groups together and more activities together and get more coverage from what I was seeing. I reached out to Engage Estero. At the time they were called ECCL, and I asked them if they would be the adoptive entity for the highway signs for Highway 41. That's over 4 miles within Estero, and I just found out the other day we were the first to adopt that stretch ever. Another one of our adoptive groups that were early in the 2000s, they 24 years later are still taking care of their section of Corkscrew Road. All of these programs, no matter what they're called, have their genesis from the 1950s and 1960s, but they really didn't spread and become established, including in this area, until the late 1980s.
So I've heard you talk about Adopt a Highway, but I've also, in some of my reading, I've heard there's this Adopt a Road program. Maybe, Tisha, you could explain, what's the difference between an Adopt a Highway and Adopt a Road program?
Right. It's just who is managing the program, I would say. So Adopt a Highway is actually managed by the state of Florida. And then Adopt a Road is run by Lee County. And then Keep Lee County Beautiful, we have our own adoption program. So we manage Adopt a Road in Cape Coral, but we also have groups and individuals that are Adopt a Shore groups, or even Adopt a Spot, which is more like parks or an area within Lee County that they commit to helping to keep clean.
So besides the Adopt a Road and the Adopt a Highway programs, you also have quite a event schedule where you do special things. Can you share some of those special events that you do in the area during the season?
Right, so each year we do roughly 200 cleanup events. We also plant hundreds of trees or mangroves, COs, things like that every year. And this is done all throughout Lee County, working with our volunteers.
So it's not just the support of the greater Estero area, it's a support of all of Lee County.
Yes.
One of the programs that you're involved in right now is the Greatest, if I'm pronouncing this right, the Greatest American Cleanup. Maybe you could explain what that is.
Yes, so the Great American Cleanup is one of our annual community-wide cleanups. This is where you have volunteers at hundreds of locations, again, across Lee County. And this year, we're calling it the Greatest American Cleanup because it is America's 250th anniversary. So we have had cleanups taking place. They started in March, continuing all through April, and will go into the month of May.
Sounds like a lot of volunteers. How many volunteers work with Keep Lee County Clean?
So each year, we work with 3,000 to 4,000 volunteers. We have amazing volunteers, just like Julie, who, is an inspiration.
Now, Julie, I see your monthly reports, and all the work that your volunteers do. And I'm always impressed by the number of HOA communities in the greater Estero area that work on the Highway 41 project. And I wonder sometimes, how do you do it? Why do volunteers come to you? How do you get those people involved? Why do they? What do they see and how do they view their efforts? Why do you think it's such a successful volunteer program?
Well, Mike, from early on, we've had volunteers from over 50 communities and businesses participate in our pickup events. And these are all simply people who want to be a part of these efforts. They want to be a part of making Estero more beautiful and environmentally more healthy. Another group that I wanted to also mention is that shortly after we started our FDOT Highway 41 group, with the blessings of our village manager, Steve Sarkozy, we started the Village Adopt a Road program, which currently involves or includes Williams Road, Estero Parkway, and via Coconut Point. And these are all covered by volunteers from different communities who just want to be a part of all of this because they care about Estero.
So Highway 41 is the project you took on, and it's also known as Tamiami Trail by many. That's a very busy road. Are you concerned about safety and people walking along the side of the roads? And do the volunteers that you recruit receive some training on what they're supposed to do?
That's a good question, Mike. And FDOT has a safety video on their website. All of our volunteers see this. Some of our safety practices include wearing neon safety vests. We work in groups. We walk against traffic. I put up, for Highway 41, I put up temporary orange road signs that increase the awareness of everyone on the roads that litter pickup is occurring in the area.
Now you have a lot of supplies. Do you get a lot of those supplies from Keep Lee County Beautiful, or do other people supply those supplies, the bags and the other things?
Well, FDOT has they supply us with everything for Highway 41. The county program, and we will be giving you the contact information for that. Ashley Cruz gives us every one of these programs involve neon safety vests. The county program will also help with grabbers if need be, and trash bags.
Well, that's a good point. You mentioned Ashley Cruz's name, and let's give that the website out right now. She is with the Lee County Department of Transportation. Is that correct?
The Adopt a Road program.
With the Adopt a Road program, and her correct me if I got this right, but her website is leegov.com/dot.
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay. So to learn more about it, our audience can go to that website. How about in your case, Tisha, do you have a website for information about some of the programs that you have out there?
Yes, of course. So it's, the best place would be, our website is klcb.org, keepleecountybeautiful.org. We also have a Facebook and Instagram page, and so that's the best way to stay updated. Things change pretty quickly. So the easiest way to update everyone is on our social media. But on our website, you can go there. On the bottom of our homepage is an events calendar, so you can see all of our events that are going on and how to get involved. And you can also sign up for our monthly newsletter from our website.
So that's on the website. Now, I know in Julie's program, you have been very successful. Some businesses have been very supportive along the Highway 41. And maybe you'd like to mention those. I'd like you to mention those businesses, because I know how supportive they are.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mike. Marathon, Sunmart, Dos Amigos, Authentic Mexican Grill. That's a mouthful, but they are right there in Corkscrew Village, right on Highway 41. They have been supporting our Highway 41 volunteers since day one with water and ice. And we so appreciate their participation and support. For our volunteers on Estero Parkway, the 7-Eleven on Estero Parkway provides them with water, and we also appreciate them. In addition, I'll just say that so many businesses have stepped up over the years, that they step up to minimize litter and to beautify their spaces, and that is part of being a good neighborhood, a good community neighbor, and we appreciate everyone's efforts.
In fact, I think I've heard you mention before, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you talk to so many people in the area, and many of them can't take the time to walk along like some of your volunteers, but when they go on walks in their own neighborhood, they do what?
Absolutely. I've had many individuals just tell me that they may not be up to an event, but they carry a little bag with them anytime they take a regular walk, and they're picking up on their neighborhood walks. And every individual makes a difference.
Well, you know, that there are a lot of seniors that live in the greater Estero area, and they may not be able to come up to some of these events. But what can people who want to see a cleaner, more beautiful highway do, or a cleaner, more beautiful county do, to help your organization? And I'll start with you, Tisha. What kind of help can they provide you in the way of support or donations, or maybe you have some suggestions for seniors who want to help, but maybe can't make that formal commitment to volunteer?
Yeah, well, we have a lot of people who, like Julie mentioned, you know, we always encourage how every single person can make a difference, you know, just even cleaning up their own little area. They don't want to join in one of our big cleanups. We also have volunteer ambassador program. So a lot of that is more the retirees who just want to be able to share our mission in the community, so they can get involved with us that way. We, of course, we are locally funded by, individuals and businesses who do support us and donate to us.
Are you a 501c3 so that you're tax deductible?
Yes, we're a nonprofit.
Nonprofit, okay.
Yep. So anyone can make a donation and become a sponsor. That is, again, just right on our website. You can become a member of Keep Lee County Beautiful as well. And that information is also, on our social media.
I'll let you add that. What can the volunteers, or what can other seniors in the greater Estero area help with the programs that you're working on, Julie?
Well, I think I would just reiterate what I said before, that every individual effort makes a difference. When you're out walking, picking up things,
just be sure to carry a bag with you and make it happen.
Let me add this, Mike.
Sure.
For anyone who notices an area that needs attention and you're wondering how to best address that, let me give you the website that you can reach me as a contact person, and I can help strategize. I can refer to where would be a good resource for you, and that would be ECCL Highway 41 @gmail.com.
and we'll put that on the screen, but I'm gonna ask you to repeat that. It's ECCL,
Highway
Highway 4,
HWY 41 @gmail.com.
the internet is so specific, aren't they? And of course, Engage Estero fully supports what both of these organizations are doing, but especially we've been a big supporter of Julie, as you know, and we always encourage donations to help their effort out. Well, thank you very much. I really have appreciated some of the information. I think this has been valuable to our audience out there, but have we missed something? There's something I overlooked and forgot to ask.
No, I just encourage everyone, to check out Keep Lee County Beautiful, because we have events going on all year long, and there's many, many ways to get involved.
Okay. Well,
I would also add to that to stay tuned to not only esterotoday.com, if you aren't already on their newsletter list, they are full of information, not only about everything about Estero beautifying and keeping environmentally healthy, but also there's a lot of information on our village site, the Village of Estero. They also are a great resource for information.
I've got to close. First, I want to thank both of you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure, and I've enjoyed, and I've learned a lot myself in this project. There's a lot of important information that you're sharing for our audiences. But more importantly, I'd like to personally thank you for your efforts in Lee County to make this, and especially the greater Estero area, to make this a better place to live and enjoy. And I know all of our audience that watches constantly enjoys being in this wonderful area. I would say that there's a couple references that I've made that I'd like to pass on to our audience. Steve Sarkozy, in an article that I've read recently, points out the savings to the community of these organizations. There's massive cleanups from time to time, and he references the massive cleanup that occurred after Hurricane Ian, that some of our volunteers in the organizations that you're talking about made it much easier for professional maintenance crews to come around and keep these areas along the highway mowed and very attractive. Even though there was a lot of work that yet to be done, a lot of volunteers during those efforts really helped, not only made it a better place for us to live, but substantially made it more cost effective for the cleanup. So we thank you for that. And finally, I want to steal a line from Jim Gilmartin. Jim Gilmartin is the current Engage Estero chairman of the board of directors for Engage Estero, and he's a former president of Engage Estero. But he has written and said the following, and I totally concur with what Jim has said, and I'd like to quote directly. We at Engage Estero are deeply grateful to Keep Lee County Beautiful for their ongoing partnership, impactful events, and year-round environmental leadership across all of Lee County, because this is our community, all Lee County. And to everyone, Jim says, that picks up litter during your daily walks, thank you. Your individual efforts matter more than you know. Together, we are not just cleaning up, we are shaping a cleaner, healthier, and more beautiful Estero. This effort is a community in action. Community doing volunteer work in action is something worth celebrating. And I celebrate it with you too. Thank you very much. And thank you, audience, for joining us today this week at Estero Today. We hope that you have found this information interesting and helpful. If so, please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the bell icon. And we encourage you to share this podcast with your friends. Comment below or email us with your ideas for a future podcast. We'd like to know what you'd like us to talk about, or we'd like to know what information you'd like to share. Our email address is info@esterotoday.com. That's info, I-N-F-O, @esterotoday.com. You can also find the website links mentioned today below in the description that is in your YouTube channel that you're looking at. Produced by Engage Estero, this is your host, Mike Wasson, wishing you a good week and hoping you can join us next week for more news on Estero Today.